everyone, today I'm going to be doing my October TBR JAR video. It's actually currently like the beginning of September as I'm filming this, but I'm going to be moving at the end of this month, so I just felt like I needed to have these books out and ready to go for when I move, so I'm going to do it now. Which means that I can't put any books that were on my September TBR on here, even if I didn't finish them, which kind of bums me out, but my goal for this video is to get as much horror as possible on this TBR, so let's see if I can accomplish that. Okay. I'm going to choose 10 books like I did last month. Starting off not very strong. This is like a prompt I would love to get otherwise, but it just doesn't really fit with what I'm trying to do today. This is an NYRB book. If you don't know that specific publisher, I bought a bunch of their books recently and I haven't gotten to any of them. So let's see which one is going to be the closest to horror or spooky in some way. They're all right here. We've got... some of these are for a video that I'm going to be doing, so I can't use them for that. We have Marjorie Kemp by Robert Gluck, I don't know. What is this about? The book tells two stories of romantic obsession. One based on the first autobiography in English, The Medieval Book of Marjorie Kemp, is about a 15th century woman and her love affair with Jesus. I love that. That's why I picked this book up. It is complicated. The other is about the author's own love for an alluring and elusive young American. L. It's complicated. This is a contender. I love this cover, but I think the one, the NYRB, whatever, that I'm most excited about is Down Below by Leonora Carrington. This book essentially follows Leonora Carrington, like it's nonfiction, who was like a beloved artist, one of the 20th century's great painters of the weird. So she was a 19-year-old student in London. She falls in love with an artist named Max. They fall in love and soon depart to live with each other. But in 1940, the invading German army arrests Max and takes him to a concentration camp, and then she kind of goes berserk and ends up in a mental institution. So, I don't want to call this a horror novel because it's kind of disrespectful to call someone's memoir that, but it's definitely, dark and depressing. So I think that this is going to be the first one I put on my TBR for the month. Okay, lucky number 2. I don't know why I always call these lucky for no reason. Oh, it's another purple one. A book with an animal on the cover. This one, I have my fall TBR in front of me. That video isn't up yet, but this is spoiling it a little bit. I want to choose one off of my fall TBR. Okay, I got 2 options. Let me move some books on the floor around. If you can't see. But just know every time I make a video, my floor is covered in books all around me for no reason. It's great. Option number 1 is What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher. So that sounds interesting. And there's definitely a little bunny on here, even though it's gruesome. That's a bunny. And my second option is O Caledonia by Elspeth Barker. This has a crow or a raven. It's definitely a crow. It's not a raven. This book follows a young girl who dies in her house, but it's not really a whodunit, it's more so following her life up until that point. So these are both 2 really good options, to be honest. I want to read both of these during the fall, but I think I'm gonna go with O Caledonia. Because it intrigues me. I found this on a gothic literature section in Barnes & Noble and I had to have it. There's number 2. Okay, number 3. The little sticky notes don't move much when I shake it, but I promise you that I don't pick off of the top. Okay, we got one. An author you've never read. This is a good one for what I need to do. Okay, I've got a lot of options. But I think I know the one I'm gonna go with. Mary by Nat Cassidy. This book I know nothing about. I just know that's supposed to be a really creepy horror novel. And I've never read anything by this author before. I don't know anything about this author in any way. So this is what I'm gonna go with. Okay, number 4. Ooh, another purple one. The colors don't mean anything, but it gets exciting. Don't know what I'm gonna do about this one. A literary fiction book. I want to read horror novels. I don't think any of these can count as literary fiction as well. Let me look. I don't think any of them do, so I'm gonna have to pull not off of my fall TBR. Let me see. Literary fiction. That's such a broad category. I don't know what exactly falls into that category. I might have to repick, to be honest. You know what? I think I can go with this one. And that is Poor Things by Alistair Gray. I can't really describe the plot of this because I saw the movie. I don't know what the spoiler and what isn't, but I know this is a super weird book. I think this counts as literary fiction. If I'm wrong, don't tell me. That's what's gonna go in the TBR. Okay, so we got 4, so this is gonna be 5. We're gonna be halfway there. Okay, I know what I'm doing for this one. A non-fiction book. Instantly, I know what I'm choosing, which is homework is a good TBR. And that is Member of the Family, My Story of Charles Manson, Life Inside His Cult, in the Darkness That Ended the 60s by Diane Lake and Deborah Herman. This book obviously follows a Manson girl and her life living with like Charles Manson and like what happened to her afterwards. And this is like a perfect spooky nonfiction, you know? Like this totally works for the month of October. It's great. I'm excited about that. Okay, number 6. Okay. A book with an ugly cover. What do I choose for this? Here's some of my options. Star of Acre. It's not a terrible cover, but it's pretty ugly just because whatever is going on with this guy just isn't pretty. I don't know if it really counts as ugly because it's like a fun art cover at the same time. So maybe not that one. I think this one's pretty ugly, to be honest. My Heart is a Chainsaw. It's just a very boring cover. It could be that one. It could also be Venko. Because this cover, again, I don't like it. I just don't like it. And you know what? I think I'm going to go with this one. Because I think out of all of these, this is the cover that I like the least. So, this is the ugliest cover I've got. Okay, number 7. Please be a good one. Another purple one. The colors don't mean anything still. But I get excited when I get a purple one for no reason. Okay. I don't know what to do about this one. A book that takes place over 50 years ago. Okay, so immediately I'm like, does a Diary of Blood count? Because this takes place when, like, Dracula is a thing. Saphira, please stop stepping on my books. She's come to visit. Ooh, okay. She did not like that. Okay, I can't find anything saying the year that this book takes place or, like, a general decade because I don't want to read the book. But I'm going to go with this one anyway because the fact that it's based off of Dracula means it has to have taken place, like, a long time ago. I mean, it took place before 1950, I can tell you that, so I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, that was 7, so this is gonna be 8. Ooh, okay, this one's easy. A book with pink on the cover. I know instantly that I'm going to be choosing There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This is a slasher novel that follows like a young teenage girl who just moved in with her grandma and has just been settling in, when all of a sudden her high school friends start getting gruesomely murdered. This is perfect for October. I have to read this one. Okay, that was 8. Let's choose 9. Ooh, okay. A book, what does it say? A book with a 5-word title. So, let's see. What Moves the Dead? 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't count. Our Show of Night? 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't count. Oh, wait. Okay, this one counts. My Heart's a Chainsaw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. I talked about this one a little bit before. I don't know anything about it. I've just heard really good things. I think it's also like a slasher novel, so perfect for Halloween. Okay, and this is gonna be number 10, our last one for the month. Ooh. A book you think you would rate 5 stars. Okay, there's a couple in my fall TBR pile that I think I would rate 5 stars. First of all, Frankenstein. I've heard such good things about this that it really makes me want to pick it up. I also think I will rate The Grip of It 5 stars, which I'm just basing off of the cover because I like it so much. And I also think Star of Acre could be 5 stars because it's folk horror and that just sounds cool. But I think out of all these, the one that I think is most likely to be a 5 stars is Frankenstein. So I'm going to go with Frankenstein. Okay, so I'm going to go over these once more really quickly just to like refresh your memory, and then I'm going to go start reading. Not these books though, because it's still September. The first book is Down Below by Leonora Carrington. Then we have O Caledonia by Elspeth Barker. Next is Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy. Then we have Poor Things by Alistair Gray. Member of the Family, My Story of Charles Manson, Life Inside His Cult, and the Darkness That Ended the 60s by Diane Lake and Deborah Herman. Venko by Sherry DeMoline. A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson. There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. And last, but certainly not least, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I will say I got through this pretty quickly, honestly. My last TBR JAR video took me like 30 minutes to film, and this one only has taken like 15, so that's good. I'm also really excited about this TBR. Like, I fit a lot of my fall TBR books on here, which just makes me so excited. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Goodbye!